Whether you're starting a new business or you want to scale your existing business, email marketing forms a very important part of your marketing strategy. And if you're looking for a tool that can help you to achieve your business goals, then ActiveCampaign is the right option for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you everything about ActiveCampaign that you need to know to get started. Mind you, I have distributed this particular lesson into two parts, so don't forget to look out for the second part coming out next week. If you're new here, my name is Prithzav and I create educational content for learners like you. To start your free trial in ActiveCampaign, I'm going to share a link in the description box. So click on that link and let's walk through this together. Without much further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining in on the ActiveCampaign tutorial. I've shared with you a link in the description box. Click on that link and you will be brought to this page where you'll begin your 14-day trial period. All you need to do is simply enter your email address here and start your free trial. After 14 days, you must pay should you wish to continue using ActiveCampaign. Once you enter your email address and hit on Start Trial button, you must enter a few details like your name, your business name, the number of people working with you, the industry that you represent. And once you do that and you hit enter, you'll be brought to this page. This is your dashboard. Welcome to ActiveCampaign, Prithz. Let's get started. So there are a few things that you must complete as an onboarding process to have a smooth experience of using ActiveCampaign for your business. As you can see, there are 11 steps that you must complete here. I've already finished a few of those to make this video shorter and more effective. This is bifurcated into a few buckets. The basics: communicate with your customers, orchestrate your customer experience, and manage your sales cycle. So let us begin. As we go on to the basics, if I click on the basics, there are a few things that you must do. As a guide, create a list, verify your domain, provide your mailing address, and import your contacts. I will show you how to do these things one by one. So first of all, creating a list. You see on the left hand side this panel, the different options available to you. Click on the lists option and you'll be taken to this page where you'll see all the sub options available under lists. Manage lists, manage fields, subscriptions by email, manage exclusions, and edit email headers. So what we do next, if you see on the right hand side here, add a list. Once you click on add a list on the right hand top corner, this is where you put in your list name. So for example, it says monthly newsletter, sales leads, etc. Examples are already set. Let's say if you want to give a list name, ActiveCampaign YouTube viewers, and I can always put in the list URL, which will be my website. In your case, it will be your business website. So I'll say https://zaveri.com. The next thing comes is list description. As it says, remind your contacts why they are on this list. This will be viewable in emails sent to this list. That means your customers, your prospects, or your subscribers will be able to see as to why you're sending them this email. So for example, I could say you are something like that. You are receiving this email because you are either a customer or have watched our YouTube videos on our channel. Once you hit the add button, your list will add and feature here on this page. So this is how you create a list. Let us quickly look at the next step. To verify your domain, you have to click on this settings tab. Once you click on that, you'll be brought to this page where all of these advanced options will be available to you: account, addresses, users, and groups. Click on the advanced option under settings where you'll come to advanced settings tab. In this section, simply scroll down and you will be brought to email domain verification. In my case, my domain name is already verified. I can also remove this domain. At the same time, I can verify a new domain which belongs to me. To verify a new domain, simply add the email address attached or register to that domain and hit the submit button. Go to your email address and then verify your domain. Once you do that, you will see your domain name featuring as verified on ActiveCampaign. So this is how you verify your domain. Next comes a very important step, guys. Provide your mailing address. This is very important. This address will appear in your campaigns and also automation emails, usually in the footer for recipients to see. Again, this is required by law and is part of not only ActiveCampaign's anti-spam policy but worldwide. It's also known as CAN-SPAM. Let me quickly show you how it looks like. CAN-SPAM Act, a compliance guide for businesses. Or do you use email in your business? The CAN-SPAM Act, a law that sets the rules for commercial email, establishes requirements for commercial messages, gives recipients the right to have you stop emailing them, and spells out tough penalties for violations. As you can see, it's very important to be compliant for international mailing standards, commercial standards, and make sure that you add that to your footer. And it looks something like this. As I've said, Banzai International, 101 Yesler Way, Suite 600, Seattle, Washington 98104. In your case, it will be your complete business address. The next thing to do in the to-do list is import your contacts. Simply go onto the contacts tab and import your contacts. So this is how the contacts field looks like. Once you click on the tab, you have all of these options, subcategories under contacts. What you need to do, you have two options, is import contact list, or you can add a contact simply. Once you add a contact, there'll be a box that will open up, first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Mind you guys, it's very important to have an email address if you want to add a contact to ActiveCampaign database. Without an email and simply with a first name, last name, and phone number, your contact will not be saved to the ActiveCampaign software tool. I'll say cancel here, and then I'll also have this option of importing a CSV or an Excel file. I click on this import button, and you can see it opens up this particular window. Have existing contacts in a file, import a CSV file of your contacts, or copy paste your contacts for a quick import. Again, few options available. As mentioned, you can import from file from your desktop, or you can copy and paste your contacts right here. What makes ActiveCampaign a very powerful tool is that the ability to connect with other services to have contacts added automatically. So imagine if you are a small budding business and you are growing your contacts on an everyday basis, you don't want to do these tasks manually. As you can see, all of these applications which you might be already using outside of ActiveCampaign, you can always integrate them with ActiveCampaign and import all of these contacts directly to the software tool. So for example, let's say you are working with Stripe here. Let's say you're collecting payments on Stripe. Any confirmations, any orders placed or confirmed automatically gets added to a list on your ActiveCampaign. The same thing goes for PayPal and other options likewise. We'll come to integrations in a moment, but I just wanted to show you what all options you have to add contacts. Going back to our list again. So we have completed the basic options or the basic to-do lists for our onboarding. So we close that and we go on to the second bucket. Let us look at the second bucket of activities that we must complete for onboarding, which says communicate with your customers. If I open this drop down, there are a few things that we must do. Track activities on your website. How do you do this? If you go on to settings tab and click on tracking, you will be brought to the tracking activity page. So I've already done that here for you. I've gone to settings and I've opened tracking, and you see here there are two options available to you. There is site tracking and there is event tracking. So what is the key difference between site tracking and events tracking? Site tracking primarily tracks everything that happens on your website, so web page visits made by contacts in real time. In addition, site tracking also provides deeper visitor details when using conversions. So what you need to do here is click on enable first. And before I go on to share more details, I'll quickly talk about event tracking. Event tracking is basically more advanced way of tracking what happens on a website. It is primarily a micro activity where you want to be highly personalized. For example, let's say you have certain buttons or you have certain videos on your website, and then you want to find out which people from your contact lists have taken some action and interacted with those options or buttons or videos on your website. So let's say you want to track your YouTube video clicks made by your contacts. So once you enable the event tracking with custom code, you'll be able to find out the number of people from your contact list who have taken that action, and then send appropriate, targeted, personalized and custom emails to those people, which will increase your conversion and eventually and ultimately help you achieve your business goals. So that is a key difference between site tracking and event tracking. Hope this is clear. If you need more information, you can always find help and look at the different tutorials available on ActiveCampaign. Need help? View our event tracking API setup tutorial. I would really suggest that you rule out event tracking for now if you are new to ActiveCampaign and also you are not a web developer or not advanced in coding. So what we do here, we have enabled site tracking and whitelist and install code. You want to make sure that you add all the websites, web pages and domains that will use site tracking and conversions. In order to capture visitor details and conversions, it's recommended that you keep site tracking enabled. So what we can do here is add a website URL, in my case priteshzaveri.com, all website pages, and I have clicked on site tracking on and conversions on. So for example, if any of the contacts on my database visits any of my website pages, I will come to know who these people are and I will be able to send them highly targeted email. You can also add more website URLs here, include all web pages, or maybe just unselect that if you want. For example, to track a specific landing page that you have created, you can do that as well. A very important thing, you have a tracking code. What you need to do is basically copy and paste this tracking code into the footer of your website. Again, if you're using WordPress, doing this becomes very easy. What you need to do is download the ActiveCampaign plugin on WordPress and integrate the two with the API. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. But then once you do that, you don't even have to copy and paste this tracking code. It becomes much more easier for you to simply install the tracking code. I have kept the event tracking off for now because I'm not involved in setup of event tracking right now. So this is how you do the site tracking, and then we go back to our list and we integrate different apps. Okay, now we go back to our second bucket, communicate with your customers, and we see the next thing we have to do is integrate apps. For this, we'll go to apps. Here on the left hand side, I'll say open link in new window, and immediately I'll be able to see all the different apps with which I can integrate ActiveCampaign for a flawless experience and get all the information, all the contacts, all the visitors who are visiting my website or interacting with any of the third-party apps I'm using for my website. The popular ones are listed above, the 5 of them: Calendly, Sheets, Typeform, Slack and Stripe. You can also scroll down and find out all the different apps with which you can integrate ActiveCampaign. I'll not go into the detail here. All you need to do is just follow the instructions. Once you click on any of these, simply follow the instructions and you will be able to integrate them with your app. Let me show you how integration works. Let me quickly show you as to how you can install the WordPress plugin. Once you go to the backend of your WordPress, go to plugins, and then you'll see this page. Here you have options to add a new plugin. In my case, ActiveCampaign is already activated. However, you can search for the installed apps here if you're not sure if your plugin is installed or not. Alternatively, just click on add new and look for the ActiveCampaign plugin and follow the instructions to install. Before you can start using this plugin, after installing, you need to go to the settings and make some configuration for it to work seamlessly. In WordPress, hover your mouse over settings here like this and then click on ActiveCampaign. And then what you need to do, in a separate window, log into your ActiveCampaign account and locate your API URL and key. Let me quickly show you as to how you are able to not only integrate WordPress with ActiveCampaign, but also almost any third-party app with the help of API, URL and key. To get an access of your API for ActiveCampaign, go on to the settings tab, which I've already done, and click on developer tab. Once you do that, you'll be able to see the API access. This is the dashboard you'll be able to see, where you have two things that are visible to you. One is a URL and the other is the key. Do not share this information with anyone, guys, because these are very important and you must secure them and keep them with yourself. If you have never heard of API, let me quickly share with you. API is short for Application Programming Interface, which basically means that you are able to allow interaction and communication between two applications. It says, and it allows for one application to talk to another. We recommend using the ActiveCampaign API for any functionality needed outside of the main user interface, such as enabling an integration. In short, if you want to enable any third-party integration, you need to also understand what API is and how API functions and integrates other application with API to transfer and transmit information like contacts. Great. So how do you reset your API information? There's also a reset button below these two options. Once you click that, you will be able to get a confirmation like this, are you sure? And you can reset your API key if you feel that your API key has been compromised. Coming back to our third-party apps, it's very simple, as I mentioned, to integrate. Once you know how to integrate and use URL as well as API key, you are able to simply click on any of these apps and follow the instructions. As I said, some of these apps will not even require you to enter any of those details. For example, Google Sheets, if I click on this particular third-party application, it gives you information as to how you can integrate and transmit contacts and other data from Google Sheet to ActiveCampaign. So here you see ActiveCampaign plus Google Sheets, and it gives you information. With Google Sheet integration, you can eliminate manual data entry and get the data you need for custom reports faster and more reliably. Connect your ActiveCampaign account to any number of Google Sheets. Create any trigger in automations and seamlessly create rows of contact data in Google Sheet without ever leaving the platform or using third-party connection tools. Note, this is a one-way integration that pushes contact data from your ActiveCampaign account into a Google Sheet and not the other way around. Okay, so again, once you open any of these apps, you will be able to see the instructions and how the integration works, and it becomes very easy for you to follow suit and understand whether you need that third-party application or not. Coming back to our main to-do list, we have completed how to integrate apps, and now we move on to how you can create a form. To create a form, simply go on to the Site tab on the left-hand side, and you'll see four options under Site. The first one is Pages, which is nothing but the landing page, but then you need a plan beyond the basic plan to access this particular feature. Then you have Forms, Web Personalization, and Site Tracking. So once I click on Forms, it takes me to this page where you can create forms. On the top right hand corner, there's a little tab here, if you're able to see, Create a Form. Once you click on this particular little tab, you'll see a pop-up right on the screen which says Create a Form. You put a name to the form and you'll be able to see four options: inline form, floating bar, floating box, and modal. However, with the basic plan, you will only be able to access the first style of form, which is inline form. And as far as the others are concerned, they are only available in Plus, Professional, and Enterprise plans. By default, the first one will be selected for you. You can see this green tick here. You can give your form a name here and then add actions as in what you want to do with this form by default. For example, the action could be, let's say, subscribe to a list. If someone clicks on this form, submits the information, they are subscribed to a specific list. Or maybe you want to add a tag, you want to put them in a bucket, you want to segment this particular contact. A segment helps you to understand better in terms of what the contact is all about and send them personalized, highly personalized emails later on in your automations or in your campaigns. So for example, if I say add a tag, and then I can just simply go on to options and type the tag name. I'll say YouTube demo viewer, and I can say create. That means anyone who fills this form automatically gets tagged as YouTube demo viewer. So next time I want to, let's say, send a mail to all those people who have submitted information on this form, I can simply select this tag from the master list, and my mail will go to only those people who are relevant for this particular message or campaign. Right, let's say I have created the form. The next thing I see is something like this. I'm able to not only make changes to the form, but I'm also able to integrate it with my automation. I can trigger an automation and I can integrate it elsewhere. I'll show you how integration works also on your site with forms in a moment, but let me just quickly show you how you can work around this little tool which helps you to build the form in the first place. So here you see on top, I have given this form a little name. I can click on this. I can say demo form YouTube channel. I can change it if I want to, put anything I want. At this point, I'll say demo form YouTube channel. If you see here, I have two options. You can see the subscription form in a horizontal state. I can also turn this into vertical. I can say style, and I have two options here in layout. I can click on the first one, which becomes vertical. Alternatively, I can change it like this. So what are the fields available to us on this form? If you click on the fields tab, you'll be able to see all that is available to us. In terms of my fields, that means those fields that either you have created or have been given to you by default. Or if you can click on standard here, it also gives you more information like first name, last name, and HTML code. And if you want to add something else, you can always add a custom field to this form. Next, if you click on options tab here, it gives you all the things that you can do. For example, on submit, you can show your visitors a thank you message, thanks for signing up. You can change this. Always click here and say we will catch you soon, something like that. For now, I will just leave it that way. Something like that. As I've already mentioned in terms of the form action, you can add your subscribers to a specific list. You can always go on to style and make some changes here in terms of background. I've kept it yellow. You can always change the color. Let's say, for example, you want the form to look like this with a little reddish background, and the form color is somewhere or we'll say we'll keep it white, the background, and then we'll say the form color to be black. This is the most simple form color combination that you can use. Always make sure that you are using contrasting colors with your background and font color so that people are able to clearly see what you're trying to say as a message. In our case, we have said we hate spam. We will be sending you information about our blog weekly. You can always change that. Once you click on this little tab, you see here on the right hand side HTML code. You can always change that, add stuff and remove stuff. Once you're done creating this form, you can also use what happens with the submit button. You can change this. Instead of submit, you can say yes, I am happy. Or you can say, in case this particular form was a download for something, let's say a PDF download, you could say yes, I want my download. So you will find a lot of these things on a lot of these websites. People change the call to action details and play around with it. You can do the same. For now, we will keep it as. Once you're happy with the form, you have two options available to you. You can either trigger an automation or integrate it with your website. I'll click integrate for now to show you how integration works. So to integrate your form, there are 4 options available to you. Use the following options to integrate your custom form into your website. Either I can use the full embed or the simple embed. I can copy it and paste it into my HTML code of my website. Alternatively, I can click this link, copy the link below and easily share it with anywhere you wish. I can simply click this link, copy it and paste it anywhere, and the form will work just fine on my website. Alternatively, if I'm using WordPress, I can always click on WordPress and I already have the download plugin. So if I go on to my WordPress ActiveCampaign plugin, I should be able to see this form from the drop down under forms. Lastly, I have Facebook, where I can also add the form to Facebook. So all of these options are available to me. I can say edit form to go back to the previous page, and then I can also trigger an automation. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is one of the most important and powerful features of ActiveCampaign is automation. At this point in time, I'm going to ask you to do one of the best things that you have ever done, is to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that notification bell icon. That way you'll never miss any other content coming out of my stable. I'll see you next week with another ActiveCampaign Part 2 tutorial. Until then, have a great one and adios.